Hey, friends, and welcome back to the show. Before we dive in today, I want to speak to the mompreneur or the woman who shows up every week, listens to the podcast, reads the emails that I put out every week. Maybe you've attended some of my free webinars and workshops, and you are consistently showing up for those things, and you're feeling better, and you're feeling inspired, and you're feeling encouraged because that's what I do best. I know that. You can go to my social media at any time and you're going to leave that feeling inspired and encouraged. You can show up for a webinar and same thing. And hopefully to this podcast. And maybe you're not listening every single week, but you're showing up pretty consistently. And yet there's still not the action behind it. So you're showing up, you're consuming, and you're getting a lot of information. It feels good. And I can make you feel good in one podcast. I can make you feel good in one email. I can make you feel good in a webinar, but I can't make you be good and be better in one episode, in one email. That's the power of coaching and you taking a next step. And so I want to push you a little bit today. If you've been thinking about, you have a next step, and for whatever reason, you're not taking it. You feel stuck. You feel burned out. Maybe you're not burned out, but there's something more, and you can't quite pinpoint what that is, and you don't have anyone to really talk through that who understands it, who can understand your potential, who can understand your story because I've lived it, and who can actually help you to see how we can align your life and your business in a way that honors you, honors your priorities, honors your values, and becomes fun again. If that is you, then I want to call you up. I do have some open spots in my one-on-one private coaching, and I want to invite you to take a next step. And the next step is to book a clarity call so we can really talk through where you are right now, where you want to go, and then how we're going to get you there. And whether you decide to move forward with the coaching or not, you will receive clarity from that clarity call. And I understand maybe you're nervous about getting on the call. How's it going to go? I remember, getting on some of those calls myself with my coaches, but it's a very powerful conversation, and you will have clarity around what your next steps are. And then you get to decide what you're going to do moving forward. But I just want to, because I know I can be the same way. I can consume all the information. I feel really good after the episode, and that feeling just lasts for a couple of days, and then you're back in the same situation. And I don't want that for you. I know that you want more, and you were meant for more, and God has more for you. So I want to invite you to book a clarity call so we can talk about that. You can go to martinewilliams.com/clarity and learn more about the clarity call and book your call there. We'll also put the link in the show notes for you to go directly to the scheduling site and book your clarity call. So I just wanted to start out this episode just challenging you with that, inviting you into that. I'm excited that I have some spots open, and I cannot wait to work with you. Welcome to Remix Moments with Martine, where we will remix your mindset one moment at a time. I'm your host, Martine Williams, and I'm here to bring you a quick burst of inspiration, insight, and a fresh spin on your mompreneur journey. In just a few minutes, we'll remix your mindset, energize your day, and keep you moving forward with purpose. Let's dive in to today's moment. So today I want to talk about kind of my second burnout story. And last episode, Remix Moments with Martine, I talked about the burnout story that was how I lost myself in the pursuit of success. And I've had multiple seasons of burnout, different levels of it. But I feel like these two stories, the one I shared in the last episode and the one I'm going to share today, have been the most impactful for me. And when I share them, so many of you resonate with them. And so I wanted to share them with you, this one with you today, because it is different. And it didn't look like hustle. It didn't look like the overwhelm. It looked like something was off, but I couldn't explain it. I couldn't explain what it was. So I want to talk about today what happens when you're no longer in alignment with the life that you've built. This is so common. I want to start out with just confessing that I didn't see this one coming. And it didn't show up as tears on the couch or late night overthinking. It came quietly. It came in a whisper. And at first, I thought maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I just needed a break. Maybe I just needed to go on a vacation. Maybe I just needed to challenge my beliefs. But what I really needed was a realignment. So this is the quiet kind of burnout that no one talks about, that maybe you're experiencing right now and you're like, what's wrong with me? So I want to take you back. And first, I want to say there's nothing wrong with you. If you're feeling these things, this is the time for you to check in. This is not the time for you to check out, for you to explain away. This is not the time for you to numb out, to get busy, to avoid all of the things that our brain is going to tell you to do because it's trying to create safety and pleasure for you. But this was at the tail end of my 16-year journey with 31. And by all accounts, I had all the rhythms. I wasn't overworking. I had the systems. I had the boundaries. I had the success. I had what most people would call balance. Y'all know I don't love that word, but for lack of better words today. But inside, something felt off. And I couldn't put my finger on it at first. I just knew I didn't feel lit up by what I was doing anymore. The spark was gone. I felt very disconnected from the impact I used to be so passionate about. The things that used to energize me were starting to drain me. And I just couldn't make sense of it. And then it happened. Two things, actually completely unrelated, forced me to stop. It forced me to just get really still. One was a knee injury from snowboarding, and then COVID. And when I mean stop, I mean like flat on my back, can't move, kind of stop. And it was in both of those moments that I was forced to be still that I finally heard it. You're out of alignment with your assignment. Your assignment where you are right now is done. I have something new. Now, I didn't fully understand what that meant at the time. I just knew that I wasn't meant to keep going the way I had been. And on paper, none of it made sense. Why would I walk away from a thriving, secure, safe business? Why would I leave something that I had poured 16 years of my life into at this time in my life? But in my spirit, I knew that God was calling me into something new. And honestly, it was terrifying because I always thought that I would be a national executive director with 31 gifts. I always thought that 31 would be a part of my life. I always thought this is my purpose. This is where I'm supposed to be. So all of these thoughts and emotions that rushed in were terrifying. And I remember it took me a while to even audibly say it, what I was thinking and feeling, first to my husband, and having that conversation with him and realizing that this is real. I don't know what to do with it. What does this mean? How am I going to solve for this? Like all of the things. And so I remember wrestling with this decision and wrestling with this new epiphany that I had, that it wasn't about recreating that business. It was that there was something else. There was something else that I was being called to. And I wrestled, I questioned, and then I let go. And slowly the clarity came. And it was during that season that I reconnected to something I had put on the back burner for too long. So once I made the decision, communicated the decision, transitioned out of that, I specifically felt called into a season of rest. It wasn't like you're done here and now it's time to go do something else, which was really difficult for a highly ambitious person who has always worked and always been about the next thing and the goals and the success and like driving and just being ambitious. And so to think about a 6-month rest season was very foreign for me. But it was during that season that I reconnected to my strengths. I reconnected to my energy. I reconnected to what my purposes are for my life and my business, and not in a surface level way, like you're good at talking to people kind of way. when it comes to my strengths. I really understood how I'm wired and what it actually costs me to operate outside of that wiring. Hey friend, let's talk. It's time to book your clarity call. We are going to spend 1 full hour focused on you. A clarity call isn't about pressure. It's about possibilities. It's about you. You having a space to talk through what's on your heart and mind, you walking away with a clear vision and practical next steps, and you feeling confident in what's next and how to get there. You don't need to have it all figured out. That's my job. All you need to do is show up, and we'll figure it out together. This is the best hour you can invest in yourself right now. Not in 6 months from now, not next month, right now. And don't just take my word for it. Here's what one of my coaching clients had to say after working together.
Working with Martine has been one of the greatest gifts I've ever given myself. She didn't just coach me, she helped me redefine myself. From the very beginning, she created a space where I felt safe, seen, and supported. With her guidance, I uncovered buried parts of myself, set boundaries I never thought possible, and let go of the constant hustle that had defined my pace for far too long. She reminded me that the grass really is greener when you step away from the pressure and you start living the life you were truly meant to live. Because of Martine, I now stand a little taller, I celebrate my wins, big and small, and I've learned to slow down enough to find joy in the everyday moments. That shift is priceless.
That transformation, it starts with one conversation. It's time to stop spinning your wheels and start making real progress. So head right now to martinewilliams.com or in the show notes and grab your private clarity call spot on my calendar before they're gone. And since I personally monitor my inbox, if you don't see a time slot that fits your calendar, just send me an email at martinewilliams.com with 3 times that do work, and I will make it work for you. All right, friend, let's get back to the show. So that's when I found the ProScan tool, and it was a game changer. I remember seeing it for the first time and realizing, oh, it makes so much sense why I feel the way that I feel, why the business feels clunky at this time, why it feels draining to me at this time. And it really was just this huge light bulb moment. And then when I realized these are my natural strengths, this is how I'm naturally wired, I had to make a decision because there were a lot of things about entrepreneurship that did not specifically align with how I naturally operate. Not a lot of things. There was one area in particular. And I remember thinking, okay, so what do I do with this information? Do I close up shop, close up the brand that I've been building for 5, 6, 7 years, and just go be a coach for someone else, right? Or go work for someone else? And obviously, I made the decision not to do that. But I now understand how to manage my energy around the things that are not my natural strengths that are required as a CEO, as a entrepreneur. So it just kind of gave me, the ProScan kind of gave me the language to what I had been feeling. It showed me that the version of me required to maintain my past success was constantly pushing beyond my natural energy zones. So I was kind of working against myself, even though I looked like I had it all together. And that's the thing about burnout. It doesn't always look like collapse. Sometimes it looks like that quiet disconnection. It looks like outgrowing your assignment. Sometimes it's not that you're doing too much. It's that you're doing the things that are not in alignment with who you are, how you naturally are wired, and you're not sure how to manage around that. So I'll give you an example of this. So one of the things we measure on the ProScan is your 4 cornerstone personality traits, and one of them is dominance. So we all have a certain level of dominance in our personality. Some have high levels of dominance and some people have low levels of dominance. Well, I have super low levels of dominance in my personality. What does that mean? That means that I am more of a collaborative team player, supportive, understanding. That's the kind of person that I am naturally, which is what makes me an outstanding coach, because I am that support person, right? The challenge is being a coach and a CEO at the same time. The CEO version of me requires me to be more dominant so I can be more assertive and decisive and confident and make decisions and strategy and all of those things. And those are not just some of my natural strengths. So when I saw that on paper for the first time, I was like, oh my goodness, this makes so much sense why I'm so drained on those days where I have to be the CEO versus the coach. And so now I just know how to align my energy and my days and my calendar and my schedule in a way that honors that. Doesn't mean I get to skip being a CEO. I still need to be a CEO to grow this business, right? But I know how to manage my energy around that in my calendar and my schedule and my clients in a way that allows me to easily be in that role while also allowing myself time to be in the roles that are more naturally aligned with that dominance level. So, this is so powerful for all of you to understand because so many of us make it mean something negative about us when things are harder for us or when we don't, the things that come super easy for other people, why we can't do that or why it's harder for us. And so we make it, we internalize it and make it mean like, what's wrong with me? So that was part of it was seeing, oh, no wonder I'm out of alignment with my natural strengths, like way more than I need to be. So this is why coaching isn't just about goals. It's about alignment. Like, are you living in a way that honors your wiring? Are you building a business that matches your values and what's most important to you? Or are you chasing someone else's definition of success? Are you chasing someone else's way of building their business because you see them being successful and you think that's the way you have to do it? When everything inside you is struggling to do that. Coaching helped me to name what was happening under the surface. It gave me the language and the tools to realign. And it's why I'm so passionate about helping other women do the same. And you can probably hear it in my voice when I'm talking about it. Because when you're out of alignment, whether it's with your strengths and you're not harnessing your strengths, you're actually hindering your strengths because you're trying to be someone that you're not, or you're out of alignment with your season and you know there's something more and something different, but you're afraid to take that next step. And I totally get that. And having a thought partner to help you in that season is necessary. It's absolutely necessary. Or your calling, or, everything just feels harder than it should. Because when you're in alignment, that's when the peace and the ambition can actually coexist. When you're in alignment with your strengths, you're in alignment with your priorities in that season of life that you're in, and you're in alignment with what you know your purpose is, the peace and the ambition, they just come together. You're not sacrificing one for the other. So many sacrifice peace for ambition or sacrifice their ambition because they want peace. It's like this all or nothing thinking that happens. I have to either be all in or all out. And the goal is alignment, getting those things in alignment. Just like we go to the chiropractor to get our bodies in alignment, it's the same thing with you as a mom and an entrepreneur. So if you've been feeling off lately, if what used to work isn't working anymore, if you're exhausted, not from overworking, but from under living, you're not lazy, friend. You're not ungrateful. You're just out of alignment. And maybe this is your moment. This is your invitation to pause, to stop chasing what once was and start paying attention to who you are now and what you want now. Maybe it's a shift that's happening. And I don't want you to check out of that. I want you to lean into it and be really curious about it. You have to be open to it and not resisting it. What you resist persists. And I resisted making this change and this transition for longer than I even want to admit. But it was a long time I resisted it because it didn't make sense to me. And so I hustled through it. I pushed through it until I just could not do it anymore. So hopefully this was helpful for you. I hope you resonated. I mean, I don't really want to say I hope you resonate because I hope you're not in burnout, but if you're experiencing either one of these, whether it's losing your identity in the process of pursuing success, or you're in that place where something just feels off, I again want to invite you to get on a clarity call so we can talk through this. You can send me a DM on Instagram, Martine31Williams. You can go to the show notes. You can go to martinewilliams.com/clarity and book your clarity call. And if you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribing and following this podcast so that you don't miss any episodes. We've got some Turquoise Talk episodes coming back, but here's what I'll leave you with. You don't have to sacrifice yourself to be successful. You don't have to choose between ambition and peace. There's a better way, and you don't have to figure it out alone. I am here for you. This is what I do. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm very passionate about. So I will catch you on the next episode. Well, that's it, friends, for this remix moment. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me, and I hope that you are feeling inspired and ready to take on whatever comes your way. Remember, even small moments can lead to big changes. If this moment made a difference, be sure to subscribe, share with your fellow moms, and leave me a quick review. Seriously, it means the world to me to hear from you. And until next time, I am believing in you, and I will catch you in the next moment.